right, welcome folks to this Friday afternoon, a beautiful Friday afternoon. So far, the best day that we've had for spring sports out here at the Pioneer Valley Regional High School baseball field. Pioneer Panthers are hosting the Southwick Rams. Tyler Warbo, Lou Bordeaux out here giving you the play-by-play action of this PVRS Sports on BNC TV. Lou, thank you for being here on this Friday afternoon.
Tyler, nowhere I'd rather be. Thank you, my friend, and welcome everybody to some Pioneer Panthers baseball. As Tyler said, Southwick Rams provide the opposition today. Both teams off to a good start so far this season. Southwick is 2-1 overall. They're playing in the D4 Suburban East. In their league play, they're 1-0. Your Panthers 2-0 overall. 2-0 in Suburban West play, D5. If you're keeping your Maya state scorecard at home.
Coming off of a really good game against East Hampton, if I remember correctly, on Wednesday.
14-0, a 5-inning mercy-shortened game. Evan Tipeniuk with the shutout performance on, I believe it was Wednesday. You know, a lot of sports this week, Tyler. Kind of lose track of the days. Saw a pretty entertaining softball game here at Pioneer yesterday. Panthers on the short end of a 12-3 verdict to the Frontier Redhawks, but something to build on for sure. Again, early in the season, so a lot of growing to do by all of these student athletes on all the teams that we're lucky enough to see.
I was talking with some of the girls, some of the softball players today during the school day, and I was just kind of mentioning to them that last year it was a 14-0 loss at Frontier. And so I find that to be quite an improvement and definitely seeing the potential that the Pioneer softball team is building on. So really excited to see, as you said, it's early on in the season, but it's going to be really exciting to see what the Pioneer girls are going to do for the rest of the season.
And we've got Ethan Quinn on the mound for Pioneer this afternoon. Throws that first one fast and inside to Nolan Avery. Attempted check swing, no dice. Count goes to 1-1. Nolan Avery is the second baseman for Southwick. He'll be followed by Hudson Mayman and Aiden Doherty here in the first inning. 1-2 on Avery.
Last time we saw Ethan Quinn on the hill was that last game early on this week, and strikeout. He closed out that game against Hopkins Academy on Monday. Did a fantastic job, and great to see him back out there after being on the DL list all last year.
Yeah, he missed a lot of the season last year. What would you say, maybe 85% of the season? I think he only played a handful of games, 3 or 4 maybe.
Definitely didn't pitch or hit.
But yeah, I agree with you 100%. Good to see him back, and back to his old self anyway. This is Hudson Mayman, center fielder for Southwick. Swings right through the high hard one. Called third strike on the outside corner. What a pitch.
Yeah, one of the hard things last year, just referencing Quinn, has just a fantastic variety of pitches and does a really good job of placing around the edge of the box. And it was really tough seeing him out for so long last year. Panthers made it quite far in both the Division 5 state tournament and Western Mass tournament. And just kind of always makes you wonder if just having that extra skill in the bank, how much further they could have made it.
Well, I was just going to say that you make a good point there, because Panthers went deep into both tournaments, losing the Western Mass final game and the state semifinal game. And would Ethan Quinn have made a difference in those two contests? One of those things that we'll never know, but it's certainly good to see him back in. At the plate now is Aiden Doherty, shortstop for Southwick. Count is 2-2. Quinn took a little bit off of that. Ball goes outside. It's a full count on Doherty. Swung on and a miss. Strike three. 3 up, 3 down. Quinn strikes out the side. Nothing across for the Rams. Panthers will be up in a moment right here on BNC TV. Don't go away.
Back in 3, 2. All right, welcome back, folks.
Bottom of the first, Braden Tippanyuk leading things off for the Panthers. Takes that off-speed pitch on the outside corner for strike one. Last time these two teams got together was just about a year ago, April of last year, April 24th. Southwick with a 7-3 win. So the Panthers have a little bit of a receipt that they owe the Rams today. We shall see over the next couple hours here. And as Tyler said earlier, just a beautiful day for baseball here in Northfield. And that one's low and outside, 1-2. Brandon Milkey on the mound for the Rams. And we've kind of observed over these first few games of the season the different timing that different pitchers use. And Brandon looks to be much more deliberate than most. He gets set, get his sign, thinks about it for a moment, and then he'll deliver. Inside, count goes full. Jackson Campbell on deck for the Panthers. He'll be followed by Alex McClelland. And that's inside for ball 4. BT working a walk. First Panther base runner of the day. Third baseman Jackson Campbell at the plate. That one's just a little bit wide, 1-0. Wind is blowing in from right field today. least at the current moment. Never know how that wind is going to go here in Northfield. Does seem like it's always here, though. Tyler, I got to give you credit. I didn't stay and help you put the gear away last night, but you turned this scaffold completely around.
No, that's the illusion. All I did was switch around the desk.
Well,
nice steal there by BT.
Steals second base.
It's actually why I really like the scaffolding setup is when there's softball, I can just do a 180 as opposed to setting up something completely new.
So you mean you didn't turn the entire scaffold around? Wow.
As much as the BNC TV bylaws suggest we do things as difficult as possible.
That's kind of where I was going with that.
No, I'm always looking to make things look great and make things easier. And those are very often mutually exclusive.
Fouled away by Campbell. Count remains 1-2. BT taking his lead off of second. We're in the bottom of the first. No score yet here in Northfield. High and inside, strike three.
Sorry about the count.
Kind of a defensive swing by Jackson. I suppose if I had a pitch coming from my face, I'd swing at it too. Kind of like a fly swatter, I guess.
I would try to block it with my helmet.
Here's Alex McClellan, shortstop for the Panthers. One down in the bottom of the first inning. Pitch just misses up high. 1-0. Pitcher Ethan Quinn on deck for the Panthers. In case you haven't picked up your copy of today's Greenfield Recorder. Foul ball down the left side. Sports writer Tom Johnston doing his usual great job. Put the early season Franklin County baseball overview article in the sports section today. You know, you've been doing this for a while, Tyler, when you recognize as many of the names as I saw in that write-up. 2-1 on McClellan.
Well, between this and doing some play-by-play for us and your involvement with Green Wave Hockey, I feel like you get around and really have an eye for a lot of the local athletes.
Right to the shortstop, and BT dives back in safely. Nice play by the shortstop, Aiden Doherty. Put that line drive away. Now with 2 outs, pitcher Ethan Quinn comes to the plate. Yeah, I meant to bring that article with me. I had highlighted all the student athletes who play in the hockey co-op.
Looks like a balk.
And a balk, yep. BT over to third. So yeah, I know we were talking about some of the basketball players on Monday, but hats off to all of these student athletes who play multiple sports during their school year. Pounded into the ground. Everybody's safe. Panthers take a 1-0 lead.
A very advantageous hop and, infield kind of eating up the momentum of that ball really made it pretty lucky for Ethan Quinn.
Well, in the words of Jesse the Body Ventura, I'd rather be lucky than good. Here's Ethan Mothy, the left fielder.
With your wrestling experience, does everybody have Jesse Ventura impression the way most people would have an Arnold impression?
Well, Tyler,
Hey, buddy, I have a question for you.
There goes Quinn. Dives in safely.
Nice job on the steal by Quinn. I'm a little lost on the count, though. 2-0?
I'm going to go 0-1.
Oh, okay.
It's fouled back. 0-2. You know, there's at least one wrestler of years past that seems everybody has an impression of, and that's the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. If I tried, I would murder it, so I won't even bother. But
it'll be for another broadcast.
If any of you out in the great beyond listen to any wrestling podcasts, it's inevitable that you will hear somebody imitating the American Dream at one point or another. Called strike 3. That's going to retire the side. Panthers do chalk up one run. One base hit, had one runner left. After one complete, Panthers 1, Rams nothing. Be sure to check out our sponsors and stay tuned for more Panther baseball right here on BNC TV.
Welcome back, folks. Top of the second inning.
Panthers on top 1-0. Ethan Quinn picking up right where he left off. Struck out the side in the first frame. This is Keith Drizga, third baseman for the Rams. Quinn goes up high, 1-1. Drizga will be followed by Donovan Cummings and Brandon Mielke, the pitcher. Here in the top of the second. Fouled away, it's 1-2. As we were talking about the wind earlier, it's completely changed directions now. Now it's blowing left to right. I think back to that Monday game, Tyler, when we saw not one but two over-the-fence home runs, which is a rarity here at Pioneer. And both of them, both one by Hopkins and the one by Ethan Mothy, cleared the fence by plenty.
You know, I never really think about how much wind can actually affect a ball. But then you see something like that where I believe the wind was blowing both towards the fence. And, you know, those probably would have landed a few feet before it had they not, you know, had that extra carry.
Yeah, the wind was definitely beneficial. Counts 2-2 on Drizga. Fouled back. His last foul almost took out a passing vehicle. Oh, just missed that one. A lot of foot traffic through the parking lot area today. Called strike 3. Quinn's 4th strikeout of the day. This is Donovan Cummings, first baseman for Southwick. Strike 1. Defensive alignment for the Panthers. Evan Tipeniuk on first base. Jackson Glazier at second. Alex McClellan at short. And Jackson Campbell at third base. Outfield, left to right. Ethan Mothy in left. Ben Werner in center. Hayden Girard in right field. Braden Tipeniuk behind the plate. And Ethan Quinn, dominant these first 5 batters. Runs the count to 1-2 on Cummings. Fouled away. McClellan over to first base.
Nice job. Good pickup.
The first non-strikeout of the day. And with 2 outs, here's pitcher Brandon Mielke. Nice pitch. Strike 1. Tried to get him fishing on the outside corner. Mielke was having none of it. 1-1. Quinn took something off that one. 1-2. Called strike 3 to retire the side. In the second for Southwick. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. We're in the middle of the second inning. Panthers 1, Rams nothing. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment right here on BNC TV.
right, welcome back, folks.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. Panthers on top, 1-0. Bottom of the second. First baseman Evan Tippeniuk going to get things started for the Panthers. Takes that one high, ball one. ET's going to be followed by center fielder Ben Werner. And according to the lineup card I got, DH Brody Welcome. Foul ball down the left field line. That's low and away, 2-1. Wind has moved again, blowing into the batter's face now from right field. Another foul, 2-2. Low and outside, it's a full count on Evan Tippeniuk. Panthers' next game is going to be Monday, April 7th at 4 o'clock over at the Franklin County Tech School to take on the Eagles. Ground ball. And it's foul. Count remains 3-2. Next Panther baseball game here in Northfield will be next Tuesday afternoon, April 8th. 4 o'clock tilt when Hampshire Regional comes to town to take on the Panthers. Long fly ball. Center fielder can't get a handle on it. Tippeniuk slides in safely with a double. I've got to think the wind affected that one, Tyler.
For sure. Especially when I'm feeling this at my back. Most certainly. I feel like the wind's having an effect on me, too. I find myself kind of listing forward a bit.
I'm hanging on for dear life.
Well, we haven't put up our cover yet, so I don't think we'll take off anytime soon.
Yeah, if we had that, holy cow, we'd be in Gill by now. This is Ben Werner, the center fielder. He takes ball one. They see ET leading off second. 2-0 on Werner.
Ben Werner pitched a really good opener on that Monday game against Hopkins.
Certainly did. I know we were talking about the depth of the Panther pitching this season, and Benny's certainly a big component there. And of course, seeing Evan leading off second, he had that great performance in East Hampton on Wednesday. So between those two, Ethan Quinn throwing today, and we haven't even gotten to talk about Jack Glazier yet. Good rotation for the Panthers. Fouled away, it's a full count.
I think one of my favorite things about the anticipation of, another season of sports with Pioneer is knowing that students are graduating and certain graduates filled very important slots with the previous team, and just kind of wondering who's going to step up and take over for that. And, with Pioneer baseball, we're looking at Hugh Syhowski, a couple of other people graduating. Kind of makes you wonder, all right, who's going to step up and, fill those crucial spots. And, as you said, we got a decent deep bench, and it's really nice to see, and it's encouraging to see that this ball club is going to do well once again this year.
Yeah, I certainly think so. And we got second baseman Jack Glazier at the plate. Now Brody Welcome's on deck. Foul back out of play. 0-2. Called strike 3. And here's DH Brody Welcome. I believe our first look at Brody this season. Swinging strike 1.
Last time BNC TV covered Brody was one of the several Western Mass champs for varsity soccer.
Very nice.
Right out here on the soccer field. Great addition.
Takes that one outside, 1-1. Line right to the second baseman, Nolan Avery. That's going to retire the side for the Panthers in the second. No runs, 1 base hit, 1 runner left. We've got 2 innings complete here in Northfield. Panthers lead this one 1-0. Be sure to watch the sponsors as the credits roll here in between innings, and stay tuned for more Panther baseball right here on BNC TV.
Welcome back, folks. Top of the third inning.
Panthers on top, 1-0. This is catcher Josh Drum at bat for the Rams. He's going to be followed by Ian Garvey and right fielder Davis Visno. Just missed inside, 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 6th strikeout of the day for Ethan Quinn. Brings up the left fielder Ian Garvey. High and away, ball 1. Good location, 1-1. Ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 swinging. You know, Tyler, it looks like Ethan's delivery is a little different than what we've seen in the past. You know, in the past, it appeared that he really reared back and almost tried to throw the cover off the ball. To me, anyway, at least for these first 3 innings, it looks like he's really become more of a pitcher than just a hurler.
I mean, his like kind of cocking is ready to throw is a lot quicker.
His motion is more compact. You know, still certainly in control of every pitch he throws. Count goes to 2-2. Took a little off that one. Full count. Just missed low. Now the count is full.
Oh, my bad.
I was relying on the scoreboard in center field. Called strike 3.
Oof.
In the 3rd inning, 3 up, 3 down once again for the Rams. Nothing across after 2.5. Pioneer Panthers 1, Southwick Rams nothing. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball right here on BNC TV and worldwide on YouTube.
All right, welcome back.
We are back to the top of the order here in the bottom of the third inning. Braden Tippeniuk at the plate. Braden walked in the first inning and scored the only run of the game so far as the Panthers hold on to a 1-0 lead. Two and 0 on the Panther catcher. Talking last inning about Ethan Quinn's delivery, and Brandon Mielke has almost a hesitation in his delivery where he almost drops down sidearm.
Yep.
Doesn't seem to have the velocity that Quinn has, so it could just be a matter of time before the Panther hitters get their timing down. Launched foul down the left field line. Full count on BT. He'll be followed by Jackson Campbell.
Gotta say, I was kind of hoping that was gonna kind of stay fair and, you know, be the perfect timing for the comment you made.
I say it's all in the timing, Tyler. Little defensive swing. Ball goes out to right field for a base hit. For the third inning in a row, the Panthers get their first batter on base. Here comes third baseman Jackson Campbell. Jack struck out in the first inning. We saw BT steal second when he reached first base in the first inning. There he goes again. In safely with another stolen base. That's just good alert base running by Braden. Campbell pushes a bunt. Nobody covering first. Everybody's safe. Runners at the corners for the Panthers.
What a great idea there. And Jackson Campbell, very notably, a very, very quick runner. And a great idea to bunt down the first baseline when you have a runner that's as quick as that, managing to get past the drop and the first baseman.
Yeah, the location of that bunt was absolutely perfect because pushing it down the first base line that way, first baseman had to run in to make the play. Second baseman had already committed to the inner part of the infield, so there was nobody left to cover first base. And of course, by the time anybody picked up the ball, BT was over at third. Campbell was safe at first. Rams coach came out. Both teams recalibrated. And now runners on the corners. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third for the Panthers. Left-hand hitting Alex McClellan steps in. Panther shortstop. Ball gets through. BT holds at third. Campbell goes to second. Fouled away. 1 on McClellan. High and outside, 2-1.
No outs, two runners in scoring position. This is perfect situation and the meat of the order, the batting order. This is a perfect opportunity for Pioneer to open this game wide out.
Yeah, Ethan Quinn on deck. Count goes to 2-2 on McClellan. Last time up, Alex lined out to shortstop Aiden Doherty. Ball gets past the left fielder. McClellan dives in safely to second base. 2 more Panther runs score. It's 3-0.
Great hit by Alex McClellan.
Yeah, I had to do a double take because off the bat it looked as if it was going right back to the shortstop again. Got through the hole into left field and just briefly got past left fielder Ian Garvey. But by then both runs has scored. And we're going to see a pitching change here for Southwick. That is former shortstop Aiden Doherty comes in. He's going to have some warm-up throws here. Looks like Hudson Mayman moves in from center field to take over at shortstop. Former pitcher Brandon Milkey is out here in the outfield now. Looks like he will take over in right field, and Davis Visno will move over to center.
And of course, I guess this is as good an opportunity as any. As we see during the breaks in between innings, our wonderful sponsors supporting our spring sports season. Pioneer Valley Tire, Sweet Lucy's Bakery, Sam Browning Jr. Trucking, and Chaw's Convenience Store. Thank you so much, those wonderful local businesses. Supporting what BNC TV does, most importantly, supporting our ability to bring the community baseball and softball action that you're watching now. Really love making that happen and improving equipment and being able to support all the things that make this thing this coverage possible. Just really appreciate it, and hope folks in the community recognize that, and really appreciate that support from our sponsors.
Well, it's good to see that help, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say, if you, your friends, your company would like more sponsorship opportunities, be sure to check us out at bnctv.net.
Absolutely, we'd love to talk with you.
Ethan Quinn, first pitch swinging. McClellan in a rundown. And everybody's safe. Quinn goes into second base. Great base running by Alex McClellan.
Fantastic job by recognizing that there wasn't looked like the key to running a good pickle is making sure that whoever's got the ball is chasing off the bag. Somebody's got to replace them. and it looked like Southwick didn't have anybody on third base. McClellan recognized that and took advantage of it.
Gonna put a star next to that one. That was a great effort. Here's Ethan Mothy. Panthers once again with 2 runners in scoring position. And third baseman threw it past the catcher. He's safe. Quinn comes in. He dives under the tag.
Sorry.
2 more runs. Mothy over to second base.
So much action with
Wow.
one camera to cover that. My apologies. And yeah, absolutely apologize to viewers at home that got some motion sickness off of me trying to track all that down. But great job. That's 4 runs scored this inning.
Scores up to 5-0 now for the Panthers. Here's Evan Tippenyuk. You see Ethan Mothy leading off second. And this has been the hallmark of the Pioneer Panthers over the last several seasons, to see that aggressive base running. And between McClellan figuring out a way to avoid being tagged out in the pickle, and then the aggressiveness of both he and Ethan Quinn scoring on that last play, definite aggressive base running. Sometimes it comes back to bite you, but certainly not that time, as the Panthers have blown this one open here in the bottom of the third. Count is 3-0 on ET. Take strike 1. Full count. Ben Werner on deck for the Panthers. He'll be followed by Jack Glazier. Just fouled away. Full count, Ethan Mothy on second base. There you see Ethan getting a good healthy lead. And he takes ball 4. Panther runners on first and second for Ben Werner. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. 4 runs across for the Panthers so far in the frame. Wind is now swirling, blowing from left to right here in Northfield.
Well, it wouldn't be April without that crazy wind.
This is Aiden Doherty on the mound now for Southwick. Came on in relief of Brandon Milkey. Fly ball out to left field. Drops in for a base hit. Because of the location, Ethan wasn't sure if he was going to go to third. Decided to go. He's in safely.
Well, those are tough situations. I'd say that's about as close to, say, the infield fly rule without it being the infield fly rule. It's that kind of, not having the outs and a ball kind of being in shallow outfield and not being sure if you need to take off or not.
Yeah, you definitely have to monitor that closely, and it's very difficult being right in front of you when you're on second base that way. But again, back to what I said a moment ago, that aggressive base running that has become the hallmark of Pioneer Panther baseball. This is Jack Glazier. Counts 0-2. Bases are full of Panthers. That one comes inside, 1-2. Panthers enjoying a 5-0 lead right now. Nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. It's called strike 3. Second time today, Jack was caught looking. Here's DH Brody Welcome. Brody lined out to second baseman Nolan Avery his first time up. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Fly ball, right fielder Brandon Milkey catches it. Two out. 10th batter of the inning, Braden Tippenyuk comes back up for the Panthers. He got this all started with a single earlier in the inning. Bases remain loaded. Takes that one just outside, 1-0. Fouled back, 1-1.
Pioneer's done some damage, but you really hate to see closing out an inning with bases loaded.
Short ground ball. Everybody's safe. Another Panther runner scores. Run batted in on the play for Braden Tippenyuk. Umpire all but jumped out of the play there. Jackson Campbell hacks at 1, 0-1. He really got the stage started here in the early part of the third inning when he put down that really great bunt. And Hudson Mayman gets under that one to put it away, and that's going to retire the side. 5 big runs for the Panthers in that inning. After 3, Panthers lead this one 6-0. Don't go anywhere. More Panther baseball in a moment, right here on BNC TV.
And after an explosive third inning, Pioneer taking the field for the top of the fourth.
And this is Nolan Avery back to the top of the Southwick order. Ethan Quinn comes in very quickly. 2 big strikes right off the bat. Off-speed pitch for strike 3. This brings up now pitching. Oh, excuse me, I said pitching. This is Hudson Mayman. He moved to shortstop after the Southwick merry-go-round in the 3rd inning. Quinn blazes one past him. Great pitch on the inside corner. 0-2 on Mayman. Breaking ball, strike 3.
Quinn continues to just throw constant, elusive pitches. He's doing a great job.
That's his 10th strikeout of the day. This is Aiden Doherty. It's Aiden Doherty who's now pitching for Southwick. Oh, 0-2 on Doherty. Just missed up high. Try to get Doherty to go fishing on that one. He did not. Count goes to 2-2. Tried one more time. Count's full now. And it's a base hit out to center field. That's the first hit of the day for Southwick. Doherty was probably well aware that Ethan was going to come right down Broadway with it. And the Rams have their first base runner of the day. This is third baseman Keith Drizga. Keith was caught looking in the 2nd inning. We've got 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Panthers on top, 6-0. Just missed 1-1. Low and away, 2-1. Three balls and a strike on Drizga. He'll be followed by Donovan Cummings for the Rams. And ball 4. Southwick looking to manufacture a little fun with 2. Runners on first and second with 2 out. And this is first baseman Donovan Cummings. That's a base hit into left field. Doherty rounds third and scores. And Southwick is on the board. Baseball's a funny game, Tyler.
Well, looks like Quinn's pitching has been fantastic, but as you kind of unravel that code, you start to see what you're gonna expect, and looks like Southwick is kind of getting wise to it.
That's Brandon Milkey at the plate. He had been the starting pitcher for Southwick. He's now moved out to right field. Swung right through that one. Couldn't lay off the high hard one, 1-2. Just missed on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the top of the 4th inning. You see Keith Driska going back to second base. Donovan Cummings leading off first. Just got a piece of that one. Foul ball. I guess it was a swing and a miss. Put out 2-3, and that's going to retire the side. Southwick gets on the board. 1 run on 2 base hits. 2 runners left in the middle of the 4th inning. Pioneer 6, Southwick 1. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball right here on BNC TV.
right, welcome back. Bottom of the fourth inning. Southwick on the board. 6-1 Panthers.
Alex McClellan getting things started off for Pioneer here in the bottom of the fourth. Alex, a big contributor to the 5-run Panther third. Got that run-scoring double, and then, as you recall, some fantastic base running to not get caught running from second to third. 4-ball walk to McClellan for the 4th straight inning. Panthers' first batter reaches base. Pitcher Ethan Quinn stepping in.
Sorry about that.
Alex dives back in safely.
The excitement of it made me forget I was already on the throwback cam. There we go.
Once again, McClellan dives back in safely. I'm sure the Rams remember his number 2 from that great base running he did last inning. Quinn slices it. Center fielder can't hold it. McClellan on at second, Quinn on at first. Nobody out. Left fielder Ethan Mothy coming up. There you see McClellan leading off second. And Quinn leading off first. That was low for ball 1. Panthers on top 6-1. Strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Some indecision by the Rams shortstop. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not.
It's like third baseman unable to put something together.
And Mothy's on. Bases loaded with the Panthers right now. Yeah, I tried to see if the home plate umpire was signaling if it was a fair ball or not, but you know, from our broadcast position out here in right field, sometimes you have to wait a second. Evan Tipeniuk at the plate. Swings at strike 1. Bases loaded, nobody out for the Panthers. And speaking of our broadcast position out here in right field, anytime you're here at Pioneer, come on out and say hi to us. That hits ET on the shoulder. That's going to drive in a run.
That's a tough moment to make contact with the batter.
That is taking one for the team. Appears to be no worse for the wear, which is a good thing. Bases remain loaded for the Panthers. Still nobody out. Center fielder Ben Werner at the plate. Fouled back. Off-speed pitch on the outside corner. Great location there by Doherty. Count goes to 0-2 on Werner. In the dirt, Quinn scores. Other two runners advance. Mothi at third, ET at second. One and two on Warner. Puts the bat on it. Center fielder's got it. Mothi tags and scores. And that's the first out of the bottom of the fourth. Evan Tipeniuk leading off second base. This is Jackson Glazier. Shortstop can't handle it. ET stays at second. Jack Glazier reaches on the error. Panthers on top 9-1. DH Brody Welcome at the plate. Runners advance. Welcome's out. Grounds out 5-3. Back to the top of the order, Braden Tipeniuk. It's Braden's fourth time to the plate already today. That's strike one. There you see Glazier leading off second base. Good stop by Drum behind the plate. Here you see ET leading off third. Foul out a play down the right field line. Ball and 2 strikes on Braden Tipeniuk. 8th batter of the inning for the Panthers. They've already pushed 3 runs across. Still 2 runners on base. We've got 2 out. And that's going to retire the side. For the Panthers in the 4th, 3 big runs on just 2 base hits. 2 runners left. After 4 complete, Panthers lead this one 9-1. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball right here on BNC TV. Time for the top of the 5th inning. Got a pitching change for the Panthers. That's Jackson Glazier on the hill now. He and Ethan Quinn have switched positions. Ethan's now playing second base. There he is. Great start for Ethan Quinn. Hopefully a harbinger of things to come for the season ahead.
How long is the amount of time that a pitcher is required to rest after hitting a certain number of pitches? You remember off the top of your head?
Tyler, I thought you might ask me that. So I happen to have the information from Maya right here. I was not doing a pitch count on Ethan. And I think I just missed, was that a strikeout?
It was.
Okay, swinging or not?
Swung.
So, okay, so tell you what, I will get the numbers in between innings, but I can tell you that for a varsity pitcher, 1 to 25 pitches requires 0 days rest. 26 to 40, just 1 day rest. 41 to 55 is 2 days rest. So I would guess that we were in that range somewhere.
Is there a maximum amount of pitches that you're allowed to pitch, or is it
115?
115.
This is left fielder Ian Garvey, swung right through that Jack Glazier fastball. 0-2 on the Rams left fielder. Just missed low. Ian struck out in the 3rd inning. Fouled away to stay alive. Count remains 1-2. Ethan Quinn finished the day with 11 strikeouts in just 4 innings. The only non-strikeout he had in those 4 innings was a ground ball to shortstop. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Jack Glazier picking right up where Ethan Quinn left off. Two outs in the top of the 5th inning. Davis Visno steps in. Davis moved over to center field, excuse me, with that wholesale change in the 3rd inning. Fouled back. Nice pitch by Glazier. One and two on Visno. Just missed outside, 2-2. Sets, deals, swung on and missed, strike 3. Jack Glazier comes on in relief and strikes out the side. For the Rams in the 5th inning, 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. In the middle of the 5th inning, Pioneer 9, Southwick 1. Stay tuned for more Panther baseball right here on BNC TV. Time for the bottom of the 5th inning. This is Jackson Campbell leading off for the Panthers. And we've had another pitching change. That's Hudson Mayman on the mound now. Hudson started the day in center field, moved up to shortstop, now pitching. The only thing left in that straight line is to end up catching. 2-1 on Campbell. And from here, it looks like the only change was Mayman moves from shortstop to pitching, and Aiden Doherty moves back to shortstop. Long drive. Drops in front of the center fielder. Cutoff throw gets thrown away. The speedy Campbell advances to second base on the throw. 5th straight inning. First Panther batter reaches base safely. More good aggressive base running by the Panthers. Here's shortstop Alex McClellan. McClellan launches it out to deep left field. Over the left fielder's head. Campbell scores. McClellan in with a stand-up double. It's 10-1 Pioneer. Second double of the day for Alex McClellan.
Alex is one of several players on the Pioneer bench that is sitting on 2 Western Mass championships, both for soccer and basketball. Just one of the all-around athletes that we love to see out here every season.
I'm sure he'd like to get the Pioneer Sports hat trick for 3 championships in the same year. He all but had third base stolen there, but the ball was fouled off by Ethan Quinn. Count is 0-2 on Ethan. Mayman steps off. That wind is still swirling, as it is wont to do here in Northfield. And I think that one hit Ethan lightly inside. He goes to first. Panther runners on first and second. Nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. On a great day for baseball here in Northfield. A little windy. Again, Panthers' next game is going to be Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock over in Turners Falls at the Franklin County Technical School, when the Panthers take on Franklin County Tech Eagles. And they'll be back here in Northfield on Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock when Hampshire Regional comes to town. Ethan Mothy takes one high and inside. Ethan is 2 for 3 today. Drizga over to first base.
like good eye on the field. Ethan Quinn waited for the ball to leave the force on third and took off from second over to third himself.
So I believe Alex McClellan scored on the play. And it's going to retire the side. Going to have to double check our scorecard, but Panthers are certainly in control here. It's either 10 or 11-1. We'll know when we come back for the top of the sixth inning in just a moment right here on BNC TV. Well, we sharpened our pencil, found out that it is 10-1 in favor of the Panthers. All the smudges on this scorecard, Tyler, holy moly. Tough to read my own writing at this point.
That's okay. It's okay.
But I got you there to bail me out, so teamwork makes the dream work.
Doing my best. But, you know, when you got number of people on the bases and you have double plays going on and whatnot, sometimes it's just really hard to keep the scorecard, commentate, move the camera. Got a lot of working parts here.
Fouled off count is 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is second baseman Nolan Avery. Nolan's 0 for 2 on the day. Jack Glazier on the mound struck out the side in the 5th inning. Off of Jack's glove. Jackson Campbell picks that one up, throws over to Evan Tipeniuk to get the runner at first base. Score that one 1-5-3 if you're scoring at home. And if not, those are just numbers.
I think it definitely had a real positive effect with the ball clipping off of Jack Glazier's glove and then rolling towards Jackson Campbell, who's on third. Really advantageous turn of events. Speaking of advantageous turn of events, it's grounded to second, Ethan Quinn.
Nice defensive play. That was Hudson Maiman, the pitcher for Southwick. He's going to bring up Aiden Doherty. Aiden is back to shortstop now for Southwick. Aiden had a base hit in the 4th inning, scored the Rams' only run of the day. We are in the top of the 6th inning here in Northfield. Low and inside, 2-1. Just up high, 3-1. Glazier comes right down Broadway with that one. Count is full on Doherty. He'll be followed by third baseman Keith Drizga here in the top of the 6th inning. Swung on and missed, strike 3. In the 6th inning, 3 up, 3 down for the Rams. Nothing across. In the middle of the 6th inning, Pioneer leads this one 10-1. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Panther baseball in a windy moment right here on BNC TV. Bottom of the 6th inning, Ben Werner going to get things started for the Panthers. Going to be followed by Jackson Glazier and Brody Welcome. Pioneer enjoying a 9-run lead here. Some timely hitting. Predictable, aggressive base running. Werner lines that one into right field for a base hit. Make that 6 innings in a row. Panther leadoff hitter gets on. And something like that, can easily be overlooked, but it's so important because right off the bat, the opponent, Southwick in this case, has to worry about that runner instead of just trying to focus on the second out. Here's Jack Glazier. Werner into second with the stolen baseball, goes out into center field. He does not advance, though. Two and 0 on Glazier. Takes that one up high. It's 3 and 0.
Jack Glazier, just like Alex McClelland, another one of our 3-season athletes, sitting on 2 Western Mass Championships already.
Oh! Werner was off with the pitch. Glazier was hit by the pitch. Seems to be okay. Runners on the corners for the Panthers. Brody Welcome at the plate. Brody's 0 for 3 today. He's put the bat on the ball all 3 times, though. And Glazier steals second. Catcher actually threw the ball out to second baseman Nolan Avery, who was going to try and catch Ben Warner cheating. Did not do that. 2-0 on Welcome. Off the tip of the bat. Driska throws Welcome out. Runners remain at second and third for the Panthers. 1 out. Top of the order once again, Braden Tippenyuk. First pitch swinging. It's a foul ball down the left field line.
Such a quick foul ball received by the third baseman. I thought, it might have been a line drive right into his glove.
It's a funny thing about our position out here is anything down along the left field line, we kind of have to wait for an umpire signal to really get the full effect of it.
Well, I would say another 30 or 40 sponsors, we can afford that 8-9 camera setup all around the stadium that VNCT has been hoping for.
So you hear that, Franklin County businesses, help us out.
That's right. Help us give ESPN a run for their money.
Here you see Jack Glazier leading off second. Got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Alex McClellan steps in.
Alex has had a great game so far. With 2 outs, if there's anybody in the lineup that can drive a couple more runs in before the end of the inning, it's McClelland.
Does have the table set, bases are loaded. Long drive.
Nice.
Center fielder. What a catch.
Couldn't track it down fast enough.
But for another 6 inches, that was the exact play that you were talking about, Tyler. Just a great defensive play to retire the side. No runs, bases were left loaded. We've got 6 innings in the books here in Northfield. Panthers lead this one 10-1. Don't go anywhere. We've got 7th inning action coming up in a moment for everybody right here on BNC TV.
Welcome back, folks.
Top of the 7th, Tyler. Where has the afternoon gone?
Well, I would say it's an afternoon well spent. It's been an exciting game for Pioneer. Great offensive game for them.
Absolutely. This is third baseman Keith Driska at bat for the Rams. Their last hope here in the 7th inning. Lined out to center field. Ball just escapes Ben Warner's diving attempt. Driska's on at first base with a line drive single. A for effort for Ben Werner. First baseman Donovan Cummings at the plate. Takes strike one from Glazier. Fouled back 0-2. That was the first base hit off of Jack Glazier this afternoon. Came on in relief of Ethan Quinn back in the 5th inning. Both Ethan and Jack have pitched very well for the Panthers today. And that one's chopped foul. Almost sounded like the barrel of the bat hit home plate.
That's it. It was a lot lower of a clunk that we could hear even out here in deep right field.
Count remains 0-2 on Cummings. That one's wide. Driska takes second on the pass ball, or wild pitch, depending on how you look at it. Either way, Rams have a runner on second base in scoring position. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th inning. Strike 3, swinging. Left-hand batter Brandon Mielke at the plate. Brandon started out the day pitching for Southwick. He's in right field now. Mielke's 0 for 2 today. Struck out twice. One and one. Slice down the left side. Fair ball. Southwick puts runners at the corners. First and third, one out. Catcher Josh Drum at the plate. Josh has struck out twice today. Glazier bringing the heat, 1-1. Nice pitch by Glazier. 1-2. Fouled back out of play. Count remains 1-2. Glazier with a quick move to first base. Out to right field. Gerard's got it.
Beautiful throw.
Fires a strike to home plate to freeze the runners right where they are. Great throw. Two outs in the top of the seventh inning. Ian Garvey swings through that one, strike one. Garvey takes up high, 1-1. Rams down to their last strike. Fouled away to stay alive. Glazier tosses over to Tippanyuk. That's going to retire the side. Ball game over. Panthers win. Panthers with that big 5-run third inning really set the stage for the rest of the day. Dominant pitching by Ethan Quinn and Jack Glazier. Tyler, you had to like this one.
Oh, I liked it a lot. It was a fantastic job. It was a good showcase of what Pioneer's capable of. was just nice to see. You know, we got, as far as BNC TV's coverage, we got 2 in the books. We've been able to see a little more of the Pioneer pitching bench and just see what they're doing with the bats. And you know, it's early on in the season, and really excited to see where they go from here.
Yeah, totally agree with you. It's going to be a busy week next week for the Panthers. I heard the weather can be kind of iffy, but we've got the game over at Franklin County Tech on Monday, 4 o'clock. Then 3 in a row right here at Pioneer. Tuesday afternoon at 4, Hampshire Regional comes out here. Frontier comes here on Thursday, and Oxford comes out to Northfield on Friday next week. So it's going to be a busy week for the Panthers, weather permitting, as we always say in baseball. And we'll certainly be looking forward to that. No question about it. Great start for the Panthers. You know, as we said earlier, Southwick beat Panthers 7-3 just about 365 days ago. So great comeback win. Definitely the receipt issued. And what else to say? 10-1 Pioneer victory. We hope to see you again next week right here on BNC TV. For executive producer Tyler Borbo, I am Lou Bordeaux, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time, so long from Northfield.